In this episode, we are going to be talking about duplexes and how the new regulations will affect duplex development. Hey everyone, as you know, in the fall of 2023, the City of Vancouver will be voting to amend the zoning and development bylaw. There are going to be a ton of changes, which, if used properly, can definitely benefit homeowners, builders, and developers like you. Now, to help educate the public on this topic, we at Phase 1 have created a series of videos which are going to help you to understand what these changes are and what they mean for your development. Hey everyone, welcome to Dream Homes with Kathy. I'm Kathy Yuen.
I'm Nicholas Petrie.
And welcome to the series. Our team at Phase 1 and I have helped over 700 homeowners design their dream homes over the last 17 years. This channel is dedicated to sharing our knowledge with you. Don't forget to download our resources that are linked down below, which will help you understand a lot of these changes.
Or you can use the link to our consultations. You can book a consultation with one of us and we can help you directly with your property.
Yes, absolutely. Now, with all that being said, let's dive in. All right, so how we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this in a rapid fire format because duplexes, out of all of the developments, were, I would say, one of the least affected.
Yep.
But we're gonna hit up some key points just to give everybody a good overview of this. Let's start with FSR. FSR has not changed.
Yep.
It is
70% or 0.7 FSR.
Yeah, and just for those of you who don't know what FSR is floor space ratio. You want to explain?
Which is the square footage of your lot times whatever percent, 70% or 0.7. And so, for example, if you have a 4,000 square foot, 4,026 standardized lot, you have roughly 2,800 square feet with a 70%.
Awesome. Now, rolling into the next quick fact, secondary suites. Can you do secondary suites?
Yes.
You can.
Technically one per half of your duplex.
Perfect. So that would be two primary units and then two secondary suites. So 4 doors in total.
Yeah.
Next one up, laneways and infill homes. Can you do them?
Unfortunately, no. That would push you beyond being a duplex, beyond a certain number of units per lot, in which case you'd be a multiplex. Come see our other series for that.
All right, let's talk about building depth. Hey, guess what? No more building depth, which in my opinion is great news.
It is fantastic news. So just to explain that, there are setbacks, which is how far your house has to be from property lines, front, back, sides. They've increased the amount of side setbacks compared to some zones, lessened it from other zones, means you get more windows, and your house can come more further forward than it used to, 16 feet instead of 24. At the same time, they realized, well, if we're going to do that, having a maximum length to our building didn't make sense anymore. So they've removed it, and that means that now you can have more deck space, which was something we always ran into a problem.
And more backyard.
And more backyard,
Yeah.
and technically you can actually use that square footage. So if you really did want a longer house, you can have that longer house.
Yeah, which gives a lot more design flexibility.
Exactly.
All right, now on to the next point. We're going to talk about PMTs, pad-mounted transformers.
Something that everybody has seen, those big metal boxes that BC Hydro runs electricity into. They usually have a 3-foot concrete pad around them. So the city's now going to require this for any properties that have 3 or more units, which a duplex has 2 main units and 2 more secondary units, so 4 units. Yep. So what's going to end up happening is that your pad-mounted transformer will be located at the rear of your property, near the lane. With this 3-foot concrete pad around it. You can't put anything in front of it because they have to be able to get access to it from a crane to change it out should they ever need to change it out. So it is going to take up 1 parking space at the rear of your property, but at the same time, you get all this extra power that you can now have as much power as you want on your property and still having to fight.
Absolutely, yeah. And we just need to be a little bit creative in design just to make sure you can actually fit everything across the back width of your property.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about stormwater detention.
So that's a new requirement because the city is going to be allowing the houses to cover more of the lots than they used to. Not the complete lot, but more of the lots than they used to. Stormwater, so that's all your rainfall that comes in, used to hit your grass, get absorbed by, or grass or gravel, whatever, get absorbed by it and soaked up. But with more of the lot being covered by buildings and garages and so forth, it means that there's a chance that some of that water is going to get flooded into your neighbors. So instead, they're now requiring that the stormwater come down from your gutters and run in a pipe to a tank at the front of your property, and that tank will hold that water, distribute it through small pipes back into the yard as much as it can, but if it fills up too high and it starts to overflow, then it goes into the city stormwater system. It's just basically to manage things and make sure that your neighbors don't get flooded.
Very important.
Yes.
All right, now we saved the best for last. The one really cool change as it affects duplexes in particular is permitting.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. So before, if you're, so actually I'll go to the easier version, which is duplexes without secondary suites.
Yes.
We might as well start there.
Yes.
Duplexes without secondary suites are a straightforward building permit, which was technically where it was before. And it's going to basically the same now, but it's a much faster permit, about 6 months, 5-6 months.
Ish, depending on City of Vancouver.
Yes, very
Yeah.
much. I should.
But it's still faster because you don't have both the development permit and the building permit.
Exactly, which if you then go over to duplex with secondary suites, used to be you'd have to do a separate development permit, get all the way through that permitting process, and it was long drawn out, and then you apply for your building permit and go through all that permitting process. Now they're going to be doing it as a combined development building permit, and which hopefully will only be adding about 2 or 3 months to the standard building permit time, which is a dramatic savings from what it used to be.
Absolutely, yeah, like 4 to 6 months you're saving ish.
Exactly.
And just to be clear to you, the combined development building permit is basically you're doing both of them at the same time.
Exactly.
They're overlapping each other.
Yeah, it's submitted as one permit
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's an overview of how the new regulations coming out from City of Vancouver in fall 2023 is going to affect specifically duplex regulations.
Yeah.
If you have any further questions, don't forget to download our free resources down. I'm just going to link them down below in the description. And
Or contact us through the links. We have free consultations for anyone who needs it.
thank you so much for watching. My name is Kathy Yuen.
I'm Nicholas Petrie.
On behalf of our team at Phase 1 Design, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.